Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpios. How are you, my gorgeous ones? So, I apologize for this being late. If you've heard my other videos, I got really ill. I have moved back to San Diego. It was way too hot in Texas. So, I am here and settled, and then I got sick. And I couldn't talk, and then I could talk, and then I couldn't talk, and I got bronchitis. And so, if I have to cough during this, I apologize. So, we've had a lot going on. We have a lot more going on. These next 6 months, at least, are going to be very, very eye-opening. We'll just call it eye-opening. So, welcome, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern-day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including astrology, tarot, mediumship, hypnotherapy, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So, my gorgeous ones, let's talk about what's going on right now. So, we've had Jupiter going direct. Jupiter has really been in your house. Here you are right here. So, any of the retrogrades, and we have a lot of them going on right now. This is why it doesn't matter what we do. It just feels like we can't break through because it's almost like the universe is saying, hey, take a step back in several areas of your life and amend and adjust and figure out what's going on, right? Because you're going to be thrust into this new energy, right? You're going to be going into this new energy, but you have to clear some stuff to get out of that old energy, right? So, Jupiter going direct in your first house is all about you, your identity. So, when I'm doing this reading, when I'm doing this interpretation, I do it from your ascending or your rising, but it applies to your sun and your moon. So, if you have your sun in a Scorpio, then you look at it from your sun's point of view, which is your ego, your the way that you take action and see things, right? If you have Scorpio moon, then it's the way that you interpret and take things in, right? It's your emotions, your connection to this world. Your ascending and your rising. The reason I do this from that point is because that's the fate, destiny stuff that's coming on your path. So, if it's a little bit predictive, it's the most predictive. It's like it's going to be the most things that come through, right? Yeah, is that how you say it? Yeah, the most things that come through. So, Jupiter going direct. Jupiter has been in your house, making you understand. Maybe you changed the way that you did things about you. Maybe you colored your hair. Maybe you got some plastic surgery. Maybe you started a nutrition. Maybe a new nutrition regimen. Maybe you lost weight, maybe you gain weight. Like, this is you, your physical self, and your place in this world. So maybe you were readjusting, maybe you were amending, maybe you were trying to figure it out, right? Changing these things up. Now that it's gone direct, Jupiter wants to gift you, but anytime it moves into a house, it wants to expand that house. So it wants to bring you more. It wants to bring you more awareness. It wants to bring you more in your life. Now that it's gone direct, it can do that. It was having you reorganize, having you amend, having you adjust, having you really take note, right? And so as it gets to the degree like 25 degrees to 30 degrees is when it really starts giving you and expanding in this house. So let me say this. Everything that I say, all these energies that I'm going to give you a clue about, we have free will. So it is always up to you to decide, do I want to do this? Do I not? You have free will. So you can take these energies and you can use them, or you can take them, or you can not take them and just ignore it and say, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'm not going to do that, right? That's kind of up to you. And they love you either way. Spirit loves you either way. Your higher self loves you either way. Your guides, your angels, your loved ones, they love you either way. They know you. So you're not going to hurt their feelings if you don't do it. I'm just saying, you have a choice. So, Jupiter's gone direct. We're going to have that going on. Mercury has gone retrograde, which is why I'm stumbling with my words, because I have a sun in Gemini. So Mercury really affects me. So this is your house. So this is 12th, 11th. Mercury has gone retrograde in your 10th house. This is your 10th house of career, life purpose, accolades, things that you do out in this world, right? Your public self. So all of these retrogrades, Mercury retrograde, North Node retrograde, Chiron retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Mars retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, all these retrogrades are having you adjust, amend, organize, reorganize, redo. That's why this energy feels like you just can't pull through. The way to work with this energy is stop trying to fight it and move and thrust things forward, and go with the flow instead. If you go with the flow, if you organize, if you look at that area of your life in each of these houses, if you adjust, if you really take note, if you go with the flow, it's going to make it easier. In these retrogrades, it's not time to start new projects. It's time to adjust those projects. Or take note, write them down, and make them thrust forward when we go direct, just like Jupiter going direct, right? So Mercury is in there. Mercury is the planet of processing, communication. Mercury is the messenger. He brings messages from the underworld or the other world or the other dimensions. He brings them to you. So now is the time to process these things in your 10th house. Your 10th house being your career, your 10th house being your life purpose. Now, maybe you started some things, and then maybe you started a project, and now is just the time to edit that project. You know, that's what Mercury can be done for in this 10th house. So it will be there until August 19th. Now, on the 27th, we had this big lunar eclipse. So the lunar eclipse, so eclipses in themselves are attached to your soul's journey, right? They're here. So eclipses are attached to your soul journey, so karmic events can happen. This is about you fulfilling some things on your path. The things that is in this is so that you can grow your soul, you can grow your light, you can grow your awareness and understanding, right? That's what this is for. So the lunar eclipse in Aquarius in the 4th degree is where it happened. We have the north node here. So the north node, the south node is always opposite of the north node. So if the north node is 5 degrees, then the south node is 5 degrees. The south node has to do with your past lives. The south node has to do with mastering your past lives. South has to do with you feeling comfortable in that energy, right? So it has to do with old karma, past life karma. If you don't believe in past lives, then when you were young karma, right? Although I kind of already think that there's evidence of past lives. But anyway, that's another video. And that's done by physicians and researchers, yeah. So anyway, back to the past life thing. So this is a time in this next 5 months with this lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is here to help you let go. To help you let go of what no longer serves you, and to help you complete some things, right? So with this lunar eclipse and the south node conjunct and Mars conjunct to it, means they were all talking to each other for the next 5 months, 4 months really prominently, but 5-6 months, you're going to be letting go of something or someone. Now this is happening in this is your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th house. So there's letting go of something, someone. There's completions of some things. And because Mars is in there, it can feel very frustrating. It can feel very chaotic. You can get some anger from it, maybe. But with the South Node, it is karmic events, okay? What's the 4th house about? The 4th house is about you, your DNA, where you came from, your lineage. But more so, it's about where you understand. When you're working in this house and growing in this house, you're understanding that you are the one that brings you happiness. You are the one that has peace. You are the one that makes you happy. You are the one that makes you comfortable. You are the one that makes you secure. That's what you learn in this house. And so, whatever's needing to be let go of in this house so that you can feel more secure, so that you can feel more comfortable, so that you can feel more happy, that's going to happen. Now, why are we doing this? We have this lunar eclipse, and then we have the solar eclipse. So this lunar eclipse, I've said this before, but if you've never seen me, I'll say it again. In our higher selves and our whole being, we have the capability of having unlimited energy run through us, right? But in this resonance, in our physical self, on this earth, in this universe, there's only so much energy that can run through us, right? Well, and that means like your house, your car, your situations, your love life, even down to your coffee and your pen and everything that the world that you've created. That's all energy running through you. But those situations that no longer serve you, those past traumas, those things that you've been trying to get through, all of that, if you're holding it, You don't have room in your energetic field for your abundance and the dreams and the psychic, intuitive stuff that you see yourself being. It's trying to come in, but you don't have room if you don't let go of this stuff, because only so much energy can run through you. Well, guess what? The universe has your back. The universe is trying to support you, so they are helping you with this lunar eclipse. Yes, we have habits. We don't want to let go. We think we know better, da-da-da-da-da, right? So that's what this lunar eclipse is about. It's about you being able to release, let go, so that when we have this solar eclipse, it's going to also bring you where the lunar eclipse lets you go, teaches you about detachment, teaches you about letting go what no longer serves you. The solar eclipse brings those dreams in to fulfill your life purpose, right? So for the next 4 months specifically, but could be 6 months, 8 months for the solar eclipse, could be the next 5 months for the lunar eclipse, you'll be feeling this energy of letting go and receiving, letting go and receiving, this push pull as you let go. And they don't want you to say, all right, I'm strong, I can do this, I'm letting go. No, they want you to go in there, feel that thing again, understand why it happened, and remember, you are more than just your body. You are okay, you are safe, you are secure. You make you happy. You can be happy. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be at peace. You can choose to have your dreams come in. You can choose to let go of what no longer serves you. This is what you're learning in this 4th house. Okay? So that's going on the 20th, or that started on the 27th, again, for the next 4 or 5 months. Then we have Mars that's retrograde in your 4th house. So Mars is really, really running amok in there, really, really making you, like, angered, like I can't control it. Why am I not being able to control it? Really frustrated, right? And so that's going to be moving into Capricorn soon. Then on the 1st through the 15th of August, and I would say now because it's already starting, but from the 1st through the 15th of August, we have these 2 squares that I want to talk about. So you have the square from Saturn to Chiron, and the square from Mars to Uranus. And squares are about this push and pull. You can think of those 2 things trying to get you to the same place, but they're not cooperating with each other. They think they know better, right? They both want to be the leader. So again, it's this push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. So Saturn, he's the big daddy. He wants to make you work. He wants to know that you're going to be responsible for those hopes and dreams. He wants to know that you really want this to come to earth. He wants to know that you really want to see it and be responsible for it. So he will cause delays. He will cause you to work hard. But let me tell you, when he finally gifts you, he gives you way more than you expected. So from the 1st to the 15th, Saturn and Chiron are trying to get you to the same place. Saturn is in your 3rd house of communications, your 3rd house of neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, administration stuff, paperwork, all that kind of stuff, media. If you do editing, all of that, that's where Saturn's at. And he's squaring Chiron. Chiron, I have a video about Chiron. I have a video about the full moon and the new moon. I'll have them all linked in the description box below or at the end of this video for anything that I talk about. You guys know I've talked about Chiron, but if you've never seen me, Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is that place, when it's placed in your chart, it's like no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, no matter if I do it 1,000 ways, doesn't matter, I can never catch a break with this, right? So what you ultimately learn when Chiron's teaching you, and it's only in its 2 degrees, right? What you ultimately learn is when you begin to help those other people with the mistakes that you've made, and you say, hey, I know how to do this easier, and it comes from your heart, you're released from Chiron. So Chiron, this being in your 3rd house, 4th, 5th, 6th, this is your everyday life. This is your health and well-being. This is your nutrition. Where the 12th house is about your higher self and the connection to the other worlds, and those things coming in on your path, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to do. The 6th house is about you consciously seeing your everyday life and making that schedule and making those things come about, right? And so maybe some things have gone wrong. Maybe some things haven't worked out the way that you wanted. That's Chiron, right? But they're both trying to get you to the same place, Chiron and Saturn. Because Saturn's like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. Show me what you want. Show me that you know how to do this. Why am I going to give you this person if all you're going to do is do your habit and undo the whole relationship? Why am I going to give you this good nutrition if you're just going to run amok and not do it right? Like, that's Saturn. He wants to know you're responsible. So they're both going to be working, so you're going to feel this push and pull in my everyday life, the way that I communicate, maybe with my siblings, maybe with my neighbors. Like, it kind of depends on your chart. And then we have Mars and Uranus. Uranus is the planet of shock and awe. Uranus likes to shock and awe, but it likes to shock and awe to liberate you. It wants you to feel, and because it's in Taurus, it's playing by Taurus rules, which means it wants you to feel safe, it wants you to feel comfort, it wants you to feel luxury, it wants you to feel happiness, right? That's also having to do with your 4th house. So Uranus can come and shift stuff in here, but it's to help you liberate. It's to help liberate you, to feel better, right? Well, Uranus is doing it, and Mars is really making you angry, right? So for the next 15 days, you can have this push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. You got to trust that Jupiter being in your 1st house, you have worked on this stuff. It's now about, I got to put my money where my mouth is. As things come, I'm going to trust that I know where I want to go. I may not know how I'm going to get there, but I know when I see an opportunity, and I'm just going to go with the flow, right? That's what this is about for you guys. So that's happening from the 1st through the 15th. On the 7th, Venus enters Libra. So Venus is in Virgo right now, but it's going to enter Libra. And so Venus being in Virgo in the 11th house, this is supporting your 10th house. The 11th house is the house of gains. 11th house is the house of networking. The 11th house supports your 10th house, okay? Venus likes to bring love, luck, and money wherever he goes. So Venus may have brought love, luck, or money in here. Now that it's going to move into Libra, it's going to behave in a very Libran way, but it wants to bring love, luck, and money. And what's funny is it's in your 12th house, so your dreams can become very vivid right now. And you guys are already really psychic and empathic, so you could have really, really vivid dreams whenever your 12th house is activated. And Venus is one of the only planets that does well in the 12th house. So it can bring you your fate and destiny and maybe past life partners that are supposed to come in. Like, that could come through your 12th house. But it can also clear some stuff up, right? So as you're dreaming, if you're having vivid dreams and you're not remembering everything, ask your guides, ask your higher self. Ask Source, ask God, ask Oneness, ask your angels, ask your loved ones. Before you go into bed, ask them. Say, I'm not getting this right. Can you help me remember? And if you have a question about anything, ask them. Now is the time to ask them, because your 12th house is activated. So for the next 30 days, it'll be activated. Now, on the 11th, this is when we have the other eclipse. So we have the solar eclipse, and this, darling ones, is going in your 10th house. So with this 10th house, because you've had retrogrades in here, you've had to amend, maybe some projects didn't go well, maybe you're having to readjust the project, maybe you're having to readjust your schedule, maybe you're having to readjust editing something, right? Well, whatever you've done here in this lunar eclipse, letting go of what no longer serves you, it's going to bring you more room for your dreams. And this, my gorgeous ones, is in your 10th house. This is a great, great placement. You can get accolades, you can get that better client, you can get that bigger business going, you can meet some really influential people when this is happening. And things are going to come to you, but only as much room as you have in your energetic field. Let me be clear about that. That's why I've made this a big issue. Because people say, I didn't get this, and you said I was going to get that, and I didn't get that. Well, you didn't get it because you haven't let go. You didn't get it because you keep thinking about what you didn't do and how it didn't work and blah, 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 right? So, but not you, Scorpio. I'm just saying, there's some people. So what I'm saying is, let go of what no longer serves you so you have room in your energetic field for when this comes. And will it come all in one day? Maybe for some of you, it might. But for others, it might go throughout the 6 months or 8 months or 12 months. It kind of depends on your chart. So you will be, as you let go, we're not asking you to let go all at once. We understand that it's a process. As you're letting go, you have more room and you receive. As you're letting go, you have more room and you receive. This is your north node. There is something about your 10th house that you came to do. This is why you were born at this time with this north node in this house. You knew that this north node was going to be in this house before you came. And there's something on your path that you wanted to achieve, that you wanted to break through. And it is going to help you. But it can only do what it's supposed to do. And that is to try to bring the stuff in. But it can't if you don't give it room. Make sense? So, then we have, and it's in Leo. Leo does not fail if Leo wants it. Leo is the leader. Leo is the center. Leo can get some great accolades. Leo is the one everybody looks at. That's you. That's you in your life purpose, in your work, in what you do in public, in the things that you came here to do. Okay? All of that is for you. You just have to open up. That's all you got to do. So, on the 13th, Mars has been in Aquarius. It's making you think a very different way, outside of the box, really trying to understand the bigger picture and the smaller picture about your safety, about your comfort, about your security, about your happiness, about your pleasure, all of that. Now it's going to move into Capricorn. It's going to be a very different energy in Capricorn than it was in Aquarius. Remember, whatever planet or anything goes into a house, it has to play by the house's rules. So it's going to behave in a very Capricorn way, which is pinpointed, which is directed energy. So these things that haven't been coming about, these things in your third house with the neighbor, with the siblings, with the administration stuff, with the paperwork, with whatever's going on with you, it is now going to give you the energy to do that. It's still retrograde, but it's going back to its place. And soon enough, by the end of September and into October, maybe sooner for some of you, it's going to get clarified. It's going to be completed. But Mars is moving into here. And it is, as it moves closer to Pluto, it's going to be gifting you this hard work that you've been doing here. Okay? So, that's going on the 13th. Then on the 19th. And Mercury had been retrograde here. So maybe when you get this stuff, you're having to readjust something, right? When Mercury is retrograde. But then on the 19th, it goes direct. So when it goes direct, that's the time to implement those things that you're talking about, the things that you just received, the gifts that you just received, the things that you've been working on at work, or the things that you've been working on in your career, or the things you've been working on in your business, or the client that you've been talking to that finally now is like your client, right? So if you've been clearing, once Mercury goes direct, you can go for it. You can take the action. Now on the 24th or 25th, depending on where you live in the world, the sun is going to enter Virgo, right? And again, that's your 11th house. So whatever with these influential people that you meet, with this networking that you do, with this is the house of gains. So whatever this networking, these groups, these clients, these things, or these people, because it supports your 10th house. This is all going to become clear for you as the sun moves through Virgo, right? It's going to be about planning. It's going to be about organizing. But you're already going to know that because you've been doing it here. So when the sun moves here, it's going to clarify a lot of stuff for you. And having to do with your 10th house, which is your career and your life purpose. It's also going to align you because it wants to gift you, right? And again, those gifts can come from here. Those gifts can come from here, and those gifts can come from here. It kind of depends on your path. So on the 26th, if you have done the clearing, letting go, understanding, really releasing, really growing in this house, then this full moon in Pisces, full moons are about releasing and letting go of no longer serve you. But if you're already working on that, this can be about manifestation and destiny, right? And this is in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th house. Your 5th house is your house of creativity. It's your house of love affairs. It's your house of pleasure. And remember, you've been working on your 4th house. So there can be some manifestations coming through here to help you be aware of your security, of your happiness, of your pleasure. Somebody could come through. Somebody can come through here, and somebody can come through here. to either help you in your businesses, to help you in your life, to help you understand how to love the way you want to love, to help you have some fun. It can just be that. Just kind of depends. But with the moon, Neptune, and Pisces, these are all manifestation. Pisces is way ethereal. Neptune is ethereal. The moon is ethereal. All these energies together, you can have something really manifest here. Granted that you released here. Now, last but not least, on the 28th, Mars finally goes direct, so all these things you're just going to be receiving. If you've worked hard, it's going to get easier. It's going to get easier. All this communication, these issues if you've had with your neighbors or your siblings or your coworkers or whatever's going on, there's going to be some relief. There's going to be some things moving forward. And as it's going direct, it's going to be blessing you with things, blessing you with completions, blessing you with all the hard work that you did, right? And so this house isn't even done yet because we have Saturn here retrograde, and I'll be talking about that later on in another video. When Saturn gets close to Pluto, there's some big stuff coming, big stuff coming. All right, my gorgeous ones, I did want to mention that I teamed up with Instant Go. So if you have one question, it's an app you can download for free, and you can text me if it's one question. It makes me easily accessible that way, so I can just text you back and answer your question. If you use the promo code INDIGO, which I'll have the link in the description box down below, you get $5 off your first order. Have a great month. I love you, love you, love you. Bye.